done it. Yep, there it goes. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. So what's going on? MacToCoin93 here. We are live here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch with special guest, frankly built for a day in the life of. Sorry about that audio issue. But let me go ahead, make sure we're live on everything. Yep, there's that.
So I threw that, and I will throw this YouTube link in my Discord now too.
Awesome. Let me turn that off. My audio sounded really good, and I'm happy about that. There for a little bit, I was having issues going.
I'm not even gonna tell him it's your channel. Just come hang out live. Got him.
Hold up, I got. Nope. Why is that playing? Sorry about that, guys. We got 4 people over in YouTube. How are we doing, y'all? Welcome in. So, while I get everything set up, do you want to give a little? Do you want to give a little bit of for those people who don't know? Do you want to give a little intro on who you are, where they can find you on socials?
Sure. I am Frank, owner, operator, creator, nerd of Frankly Built. My socials focus on teaching 3D printing, cosplay, how to make all the props you see across my social medias. The main focus is YouTube tutorials, but things like Instagram, TikTok, Reddit, Twitter, Facebook, they all funnel to YouTube or are little snippets of it. So if you're interested in getting into 3D printing, whether you want to make functional, useful stuff around the house, or you're looking to make something like an Iron Man suit you can wear, I got you covered.
Awesome. Yeah, and that's honestly how I kind of got into it. Was looking up your videos. So let's see, we got
Akuma Mods on YouTube.
Kuma Mods, Luke Russell, Vincent, MJ Singh.
An Elegoo Neptune 3 printer. You can get an Elegoo Neptune 3 printer on the internet when they're in stock. Google is your best friend.
What is going on, everybody? Thank you all for tuning in. If you're here on YouTube, my name is Jed Powell, or I go by MacToCoin93. We are going to be doing an interview with Frank. Just give me one quick moment.
We are on Twitch. Let me get this. Let me grab this. And then I'm going to share this on the TikTok.
On the TikTok.
Or not TikTok, Instagram. Why did I say TikTok? Yeah, TikTok hates when you try to share stuff.
Frank, apparently your audio sounds like it is far away. YouTube says.
Audio sounds like it's far away?
Yeah. I'm not getting that on my end.
I'm wondering if... Okay. No, I think I know what it is.
Safi 1995, what's going on? Thank you for tuning in. If you guys give me just a quick little moment, let me get all my shares finished up here, and we'll get right into the interview. Well, we've got 24 viewers on YouTube. Welcome in.
How do I sound now, guys? I'm using the same mic and output to Discord. So I'm wondering if it is you grabbing my audio from Discord. Maybe that might be where it's funky from. Because my mic is fully powered and I'm pulling from my camera like normal.
It's confusing about the shipping. Hey, what's going on, Dick? How we doing?
Is it fixed? How do we sound now?
How are we sounding on YouTube's end? Does everything sound good? They said bad. I'm wondering if they are picking up. I've never had that issue before.
Same audio. Because I sound normal to you, right?
Yeah, you sound normal on my end. Says Frank still not the correct mic and not default. Vincent said I can hear. Yeah, it might be how I'm sharing. Killer Dad said Twitch sounds good. All right, someone said it's not that bad.
Jed, good, Frank Moore.
Yeah.
Frank, it's a little distant, so it might be just maybe the audio level on because if you're using can you adjust it on Twitch or Discord?
No, not that. Um, hold up. Let me.
Voice settings. Let me take a peek at this.
So Facebook is being picked up. That's so weird. I've never had any issues. I'm wondering. Frank, just yell as loud as you can. Killer Dad, welcome in, man. Silvertown Radio, how we doing? Oh, hold up. What happened? I think Frank left out.
Let's give this a test now. Let's see if this works.
All right. Is that working a little bit better?
Testing, 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 testing. Yeah, I think maybe it was my audio coming out of your speakers getting picked up by your mic, maybe, but that doesn't make sense because then I would
Maybe.
be hearing it on the back end. So
Yeah,
let's see.
that's
We got
weird.
time. We got time.
All right.
Frank, just yell as loud as you can.
Yeah.
You're streaming your entire Discord right now, by the way.
Am I?
Yeah.
Oh, because I went out. Sounds the same on Twitch and YouTube. The Matt Fowler.
Same.
Someone said to be honest, good enough. I'm gonna have to figure. Yeah, usually I don't have any issues that anybody really says.
Let's see if I can do this. How does that sound? I just turned up my. Am I louder on your side now, Jed?
A little bit.
Let's see if that fixes it. MJ,
Someone asked, "Are you still thinking about moving to HPLV Spring?"
Steve, absolutely. That's the goal. That was one of the big parts of the renovation I just got done doing in my garage. Uh, Getting everything insulated, drywall, running new air lines, the paint booth. So I'm absolutely air compressor. I'm absolutely changing to that, and I'm very excited.
Sounds
A little
echoey.
worse now. Sounds echoey.
Gain improved, but still bad. I'm wondering if Discord actually is picking up double, because my desktop audio is muted. The only thing should be picking up is my mic. Hold up. Let me turn this down a little bit.
It might be on StreamYard,
Streamlabs, yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Hold up. Let me. Man, this is what I didn't want to have, because stand up and talk again.
What's up? Hello, hello.
Looking forward to some tutorials. All right.
Hello, hello.
Well, I guess, do you want to just try and get into it and see if it improves, if it gets worse? Sorry to the people over on YouTube if Frank's sounding really bad.
It sounds the same on Twitch, right? It's just the same.
Yeah, that's what the Matt Fowler says.
It has to be Streamlabs then.
Yeah.
Just the input it's picking up, audio level outputs.
I don't remember how to change that offhand.
You might be able to. Oh, try. You could try this. Right click my camera on Discord, and it should give you an audio slider. Maybe you
Oh,
can just increase that.
user volume.
Yeah, try to put that at like 150 because that might just increase the output.
Got it at
Because
152.
because Streamlabs. All right, look, is this any better, guys? He increased my user volume coming out of Discord because it's clearly picking up my audio,
Yeah.
but it's quietly. So
Says
maybe that's better.
close to the camera.
I have to put the mic in my mouth. I'm not doing that. The mic is right there.
I think it sounded okay when he was close to the camera. I think it sounded okay when he was. Yeah, see, that's.
Okay, how is this now?
Let me try 160. No change. Worse. On Twitch's end, it sounds fine. On YouTube's end, it sounds bad.
That's odd. That's really weird.
Someone said it sounds like it's coming through a phone. Do you have your phone on? Because I've got all
No,
my audios muted.
it doesn't sound studio quality like your end. It sounds fine on my end.
That is super weird. I don't know.
Let me see. What does it sound like on YouTube? Okay, I'm listening to it on my phone. It's not that bad. I think people are kind of exaggerating a little.
Yeah. All right. So, gonna get right into it then. They said it doesn't sound studio quality. So for the ones who aren't familiar with who you are, what year did you buy your printer, and what actually was your first print?
My first print was actually it was a Keyblade. I still have it on the wall. I don't know if you can see it. It's like back here somewhere. That was my actual first print. But let's see why. Okay, well, I want to pop this up. There we go. That's what I was trying to do. It was a Keyblade. Once I got past the little benchies and test thingies, I was like, I can actually make big stuff now. I've always wanted a Keyblade. Let's make one. So I can hear him. It's just quiet. Yeah, we're fine. We're good then. We're chilling. We can press on. Um, and while I answer your next question, I will. I want to throw this on Instagram too. Why not? Let's do it. Link.
Bam.
Come chat on YouTube. Coke. Come chat on YouTube. There we go. Yeah, we hanging.
Bam. We. All right. SG, what's going on? Welcome in. Benchy to Keyblade. That's a huge jump.
It was. It was. There wasn't as much. There wasn't as much structure in the 3D printing community, or like on the groups about 3 years ago. There wasn't. There wasn't anybody to hold your hand or anybody to like, you couldn't really ask what should my first print be because all you really had was Thingiverse. You had a couple Facebook groups that weren't that great. You had the cesspool that is the 3D printing Reddit back then that wasn't great, but you you were kind of alone. So it was just me browsing Thingiverse, being like, what can I print? And I found a Keyblade file. I'm like, oh my god, I've always wanted a Keyblade, huh? And it was small enough and cut up really cool to print, so I did, and I fused it all together, painted it, looks like Dookie, um, and away we went. It was great.
SG very much so. SG said, yeah, that was when we were all sharing STLs for free.
Yes, the dark ages.
The dark days.
The dark ages. So it yeah, it was a big jump. I mean, DO3D existed. Their files weren't that great. I think Colts 3D and my manufacturer around, but just Yeah, you Google something, see if there was a file for it, and try to print it. That's pretty much it.
Kaiju Alex, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. And someone asked about your backdrop. I believe you said it was gifted to you.
Where'd you get your backlight? So this light right here, this is Nanoleaf panels. Um, thank you, Nanoleaf. They're not a sponsor. They just sent them to me because their marketing team is very smart. Because guess what's in the background of every single one of my videos now? The Nanoleafs. So they are not cheap. I can't imagine. I can't even begin to imagine what their profit margin is on these plastic LED panels that they sell for way overpriced prices. Yeah, but they're really cool. I just got a new set of Nanoleafs. They're called Nanoleaf lines for the
They're
garage work.
they're so
So,
dope.
yeah.
Like I was hanging in his general lounge when he was uploading that.
You
But
saw that? Yeah, yeah, oh, yeah, I remember that. Yep.
yeah.
They're really cool. I
Nathan
love
B
them. I
one
love
twenty five. Thank you for the follow.
them. We were all sharing for STOs for free. Yeah.
Good to see you, Kaiju. To everyone over in YouTube, thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning in. Sorry for the sound quality on your end. But yeah, so what year did you get your printer? Just kind of go back to that question.
I got my first 3D printer July of 2019. That was it. That was when it started. It is sitting right behind me. That right there in my background. That is my first Creality CR10S. That is the first printer I had 3 years ago that caused all of this to happen.
Now, was that the one that you kept the dunce cap on? That's
yes.
Your video.
Yeah, it was that one or the yellow one, back and forth. The yellow, they would give me problems occasionally, so they traded off the dunce cap. I still have that dunce cap. It's in my closet. I still have that. I should put it on one of the suits actually, and it was a great printer. I mean, it was like the first big format printer that worked pretty reliably. It didn't have too many bells and whistles, so there wasn't a lot to go wrong. It was a hot end, an extruder, some belts, some stepper motors, and a bed, and it worked. It worked for 2 years like a boss. I love that printer, but right now it's dated. It's just an old printer.
Yeah. So Ultraviolet 39 said, "Oh, so you had a lot of time during COVID. 3D printing is ridiculously hard to learn."
I have to disagree. I don't think 3D printing is hard to learn. I think people are stubborn and don't want to learn it. They get the printer, but they don't want to learn how it works. They want to just plug it in. They want to just print with it. They don't want to think about what a hot end is. They don't want to learn how to unclog a nozzle. They don't want to learn how to level their bed. That stuff's very easy to learn, but you need to be receptive to learning it. Like, if you should be able to explain to me what leveling a bed actually means. Not, oh, it means the bed's leveled. It's not what it means at all. Understanding the relation between the nozzle and the bed is like the most important thing to printing. If your bed isn't level, you can't print. It doesn't take long to learn, but there are just a lot of people get into the hobby that just aren't receptive to wanting to learn how the machine works. It is not a microwave. It is not plug and play. You have to learn what you're doing. That's my opinion.
But Praetorian and Built by Tommy, thank you for the sub over on YouTube.
Sure.
SG, yeah, SG is still running his original CR10 as well.
That's really good. It's hard to master. I will give you that.
Yeah.
I there's still so much about printing I don't know. I don't want to learn. I don't care about 99% of the settings in Cura or Slicer or whatever. Because I don't need to change them. I am not here to master 3D printing. I'm here to use it as a tool. Can I shave an hour or two off of a print? Probably. I don't care to. If it prints, I get it, I'm good. So it is a tool to an end goal to make stuff. There are plenty of people who love trying to make their Vorons and rat rigs and make them as awesome and fast as possible. I don't care. I don't care about that. If it prints, it doesn't break, it gets me what I want. Sick.
Cosplay.
And then you buy 2 printers. So.
Cosplay Ben, welcome in. So what I'm gonna try and do is I'm gonna try and get to the part of the because there's a spot where I do ask if somebody has questions. But I'm gonna ask one.
Let's go your question, man. It's your stream.
I'm gonna ask one question from YouTube though. It's like, Frank, when you put your eyes in your Iron Man helmet, Does it run through magnetic closures or wired to the board?
It depends on the helmet. If it's just standard LED eyes, um, if it's a magnet, if it's a faceplate, usually I'll put the battery pack in the faceplate as well. But if it's like my opening helmets here, the wire runs up along the hinge. So because there's a wire in there, it needs to open and close. So I run the wire up one of the hinges and then down the back of the helmet into the suit or the battery pack.
Awesome. So I
Same
mean,
again.
so you kind of answered the question. But my next one was, what was your first printer, and would you choose a different one based off of your knowledge of printers now?
Are you talking so in today's market?
Yeah, like in general, if you were to go back to 2019, Frank, and be like, hey,
Oh no, same one.
same one.
Actually, honestly, exact same one. Yep. If it was 2019 again, and I knew what I knew now, and it was like, hey, you're gonna here's about $500. You want to get into cosplay and props? Go. I'd still get the CR10S.
Okay.
It
So
was the best option on the market at the time.
okay. And then what was it like in the military, and would you choose a different route if you could?
Oh, how much time do we got? It was an experience. Some people here have heard me um, crapping on the military. Some people here have heard me praising it because it is a roller coaster. It is unlike any job you will ever have in your life. Um, Obviously, it's the military. For those who don't know, I served in the Air Force for 10 years active duty. I'm currently now in the Air Force Reserves, so I only work one weekend a month to maintain medical and healthcare benefits and retirement. I actually go in this weekend. So that's why I need to shave once a month now. I can't just let this go. I still need to show up in uniform, but that's not my main job anymore. Um, the military was the best thing I would never do again, but I'm still kind of doing it, so it's like a little hypocritical. Um, I wish I had done better in school, so I didn't need to do it. Um, I'm not saying it's a dumb person's decision, like, oh, you did bad in school, go join the military. No, like it's a great option if you don't have scholarships, if you don't have the money for college, if you don't know what to do with your life. It's a fantastic option. But just remember this, anybody thinking about it. How do you know your recruiter is lying? Because his mouth is moving. Okay?
Not the first time I've heard that.
What's up?
I said not the first time I've heard that one.
Yeah, your recruiter is lying. They are trying to get a quota. They're trying to get you to sign. They get blah blah blah. Blah. Talk to somebody who's actually been in it because there's a lot I can tell you that they don't tell you about. The rules, the stipulations, the rank, the pay, the hours. The other thing you need to realize is you are no longer a civilian. Oh, I can't believe I'm working more than 8 hours. Shut up. No one cares. No one cares that you work 12 hours. No one cares that you about like that's not why you're there. You're there to do a job and they do try to take care of you. There are a lot of people who care about their workers, but there are just as many people, unfortunately, still in the military who don't care. They care about the numbers, they care about production, they care about winning wars, fighting, whatever the heck. So there's definitely a push and pull, but you have to remember the guy next to you is also going through the same thing. So if you're getting crapped on, if you're stressed, if you're tired, so is he. Talk to him about it. Your mental health comes first, and if you are not doing well in it, talk to somebody. The military is definitely trying to be better about mental health and all of that, and stress and overworking people. Like they're getting better, but there are still some old habits that die very hard, and it sucks to see. Um, but I got to live in Japan for 4 years. I got I got to live in England for 4.5 years. I got to see places I would have never been able to afford. Period. Not if I was still in America. If I wanted to fly to Rome, I mean, we're talking $2,000-3,000 plane tickets, cross long flights. But when you live in England, it's like a $60 flight over to Italy. So it's like going from New Jersey to Florida. It's not a big deal. It sounds bougie. I went to Italy this weekend. No, it's a quick trip. Um, it got me on my feet. It helped me pay off tons of debt, student loans and stuff I had. It just got me stable. And all I had to do was show up, do my job moderately well, if not just a little bit better than the standard. And then I always had a paycheck, healthcare, dental, retirement, food, a place to live, and friends. Like that, you just get that. And all you have to do is show up and work. It's an easy job. it's an easy thing to do. It's very easy to mess it up. Um, but it was hard. It was definitely hard. It's not for everybody living overseas or moving around or having to say bye to friends every 2 or 3 years. It's
Yeah.
rent a friend. Any base you go to, you will not be lifelong friends with these people. They will disappear in 2 to 3 years, and you just have to be okay with that. You know.
So, Ultraviolet 39 and Kaiju Alex both said thank you for your service.
Hey,
Stoner, I don't want to butcher the name. It looks like Stoner Oria 16 said, "Hey Frank." Ultra then said, "Yeah, it does. Veterans are not taken care of like they should."
if you guys knew what I was going through right now in terms of some benefits I was robbed of for my active duty time after 10 years of serving, what I've had to deal with the past since October, trying to get certain benefits reinstated that active duty Air Force screwed me out of, buddy, it's something. It's unreal. It makes me want to leave the reserves and just be done with everything forever because of how I've been the shit show that I've been dealing with.
Yeah.
But this isn't the stream for it. But yeah, it hurts. It sucks. And I'm in the reserves. I have connections still. I'm still kind of in. If
Yeah.
I had just completely separated and had to deal with what I'm dealing with, I would have been screwed. I would have been dead in the water. But I still have a chain of command. I still have people on my side. So I have one more month left, and if it's not resolved in that month, Air Force Reddit is about to get Seymour Johnson's going to get a hole blown in it
Oh,
on
wow.
Reddit. So yeah, stay tuned.
Dick Powell said deploying in May to go fight over there in the Med. He then said came back later into this convo. Frank, what service were you in?
I was Air Force. Where was that question? Where was that one?
It just came in like a couple minutes or so ago. And then Nick Foster, it's on YouTube. Nick Foster then said the guy on the left is cute. And then Jay Bird said, Frank, I appreciate your service. Thank you, sir.
Nick Foster. Foster used to work for me. He works at Seymour.
Ah.
I love you, Foster. You're cute too.
And then I took care of a veteran, and he talked to me about horror stories with the VA. Yeah.
Rep +1 military sucks right now. Yeah, I'll never say I was I was never in the fighting military. I wasn't in the Army, Navy, Marines. I'm Air Force. I'm a mechanic. I fix jet engines. And then I teach idiots like Foster how to fix jet engines and yell at them when they do it wrong. So
the fun stuff. So
no, I didn't want to be shot at. I scored too high to be in the Marines. Shots fired. Gonna get a comment for that one.
Probably somewhere. Love the new Star Boost.
Me too. I've been getting pictures back from Katsucon of the thing, man. Oh my god, I love it.
Yeah.
It's such a cool contrast of suits. I'm very happy with it.
For the ones here in Twitch, if you're not following Frank, you can find him on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, right?
Everywhere. Hurry everywhere. The
Frankly
only
Built.
platform my name isn't the same is Reddit. And you don't gotta follow me on Reddit. That's just weird. I don't do anything special there anyway.
But yeah, it's all it's frankly_built on all.
Yeah,
correct?
it's either frankly_built or frankly built. The platforms that need underscores have it. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. Active duty Navy here, going out there on the Ford. I almost went Air Force back in 2006, but went Navy instead. Navy also needs the same scores as Air Force. The Navy folk are just as smart, but they actually get combat trained, which is pretty neat. Yeah, I can't imagine living on a boat for months. I don't know. I don't know if you're on a carrier or anything. You might be shoreside. I don't know.
I might get seasick.
I mean, on a carrier, you really wouldn't feel it. It's so big. The water displacement's unreal. It's a little floating town.
So my next kind of question for you, I guess you did kind of answer it. How many years were you in the military?
10 years.
10 years.
10 years exactly. 10 years. I enlisted October 9th, 2012, and I got out October 9th, 2022.
So you went in the year that I graduated high school.
Oh. So you're 27, 28?
30.
Oh, 30. Oh, right.
Hence the Mac 2 Cool 93.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, no, my bad.
And
I forgot how old I was for a second.
Surprisingly, nobody puts that 2 and 2 together when it says Mac 2 Cool 93. I'm just like, Um,
Green
but
armor.
so how was
What
your
suit?
oh, what?
What's up?
Uh,
What do you got?
it says what uh how has your life changed since you went viral?
Um, I don't like that word. I don't know. I hate that word. I Yeah, I guess I did. I think I went viral on TikTok because TikTok just does that to feed the dragon, feed the beast. And then we just recently learned that TikTok gets to pick who goes viral. That's a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
Um, that's unreal. I'd be so mad. I am mad, but yeah. I mean, I get this can be my job now. It's weird. It's a pipe dream. It's a friggin' pipe dream. How many kids or even adults would love to just be able to make goofy YouTube videos for a living? But like, it's work. It's definitely social media is so much harder than I would have ever could have ever imagined or thought of. It's so much more work than I think people realize. I wish I could be a hot girl in a bikini just posting pictures on Instagram and making millions of dollars
So
a
much
year.
easier.
But unfortunately, I got to work for it, um, and it's tricky. But like, yeah, I get to do what I love. I get to just it's unreal. Like it still seems like a big joke to me, or like it still seems um, like somebody's messing with me, and like tomorrow I'm gonna wake up and it's gonna be like all my socials will be deleted or something. It's like, I gotcha. Like you thought you could live off of this, like so the imposter syndrome and fear is always there. But I'm just trying to make the best out of it, and why not? It's fun. It's so much fun being able to do this stuff, and to have not tried it because I was terrified of leaving the military. I've been in 10 years and I'm going to give up this stable job with retirement and benefit, all of this stuff to try to make YouTube videos for a living. That was terrifying, especially we just bought a house, like what happens when we have kids, that type of stuff.
Right.
So it's scary. That's why I kept one foot in the door with the Air Force. Like, I'll stay reserves just in case. So it has literally been life changing. I mean, could I have done this without having millions of views on TikTok? Maybe. I mean, YouTube was doing pretty well. I was happy with my YouTube growth. It kind of accelerated it. Everything happened at the right time.
So I got a couple. So on YouTube, the suit was awesome, man. That suit video you made is one of that got me into your channel and everything. As a bigger dude, I'm contemplating a Hydra Buster armor suit. His Star Boost suit has made me want to finish my Spartan armor even more. Any good hints on making Iron Man gloves? It's hell trying to get decent sized hands and fingers. And then
Um,
proud of you, Frank.
so, hi Britt, how are you? Um, yeah, gloves. There's the trial and error. There's no. You're gonna print one finger and then see what finger it fits on. And then if it fits on your pinky, scale the next finger up a little bit. Oh, it's too. Oh, it fits on my middle finger. Oh, it's too big. Scale the next one down. Just print fingers individually and figure out what fingers they fit on. It sucks. Um,
And
what
then
food is next? Oh, you wait. You wait. I got some big plans on the way.
on Twitch it says what cons you go to. What
Um,
yeah, what
oh,
cons you go
Stone
to?
Orla. Okay, I just saw it. Stone Orla 18 is probably one of my longest running fans. She has been following my Instagram, I think, since I made my Instagram, like for
Yeah,
this
she
stuff.
said so glad I came across one of your first videos.
Yep, yep. So pretty stupid. What cons am I going to? I had to cancel Emerald City Comic Con. I cannot. My garage renovations got way too expensive. So I had to cancel Emerald City Comic Con. I'll be hopefully be there next year. I want to hang out with Joel and all of them over there. 3D printing nerd, and and that's also to save money for WonderCon. I'll be in Anaheim WonderCon March 23rd to 26th, I think it is, or that's the big one. All of the Iron Idiots are going to be there. I think at this point we're going to have 7 or 8 Iron Man suits.
Oh wow.
Like, it's going to be a lot, and I'm bringing 2 suits. Like, it's going to be so much fun. Directly after that is C2E2 in Chicago. Me and Kiara will be there.
I really want to
Um,
go.
what's
It's
up?
I said I'm really wanting to go to C2E2, but it's like there's a whole lot of factors if I go, and right now the bad factors are outweighing the good factors.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair. It's tricky. It's tricky traveling for cons, all of that stuff. The other cons I definitely have locked in this year is Raleigh Galaxy Con in Raleigh, North Carolina. Definitely going to that. It's half an hour for me. It's up the road. Um, and Dragon Con in
Ooh,
Atlanta,
that's a big one.
Silicon, Silicon in Silicon in San Jose, California. Unfortunately, Silicon is now the same weekend as New York Comic Con, so I can't go to New York Comic Con anymore, which kind of sucks. But yeah, yeah. Oh, and then Maker Central in the UK. I get to go back to the UK to Birmingham for the first
Hey,
time in 2 years.
and then don't we all, as in a question, post wishing you could just post bikini pics, and then Ultraviolet also said at least you're humble.
I am incredibly humble. Oh no, what's the track say? I too am incredibly humble.
So what was the hardest part of going from active duty into like civilian life for you? Like if you had to pick, even though you still go once a month, but like what's been the hardest?
I miss my friends. The hardest part was not having. I got lucky. Okay, I got lucky because part of my new job is being social, is social media, talking to people, hanging out on Discord, going to cons. Like I get to still interact with so many people as my job where I know there'd be some people who would get out of active duty and then, maybe they do have a home business, an Etsy shop or something at home where they're not interacting with people as much. And that I'm sure can be hard, getting out of the military and you lose that structure. There's no accountability. The military, if I show up every morning, 6 a.m., whatever, show up, do my job, get yelled at or yell whatever the heck I'm doing, as long as I do that okay enough, I will always have a paycheck. My money will always be there. Cool, awesome. Thank you everybody for paying your taxes. Um, and but now if I don't make that YouTube video, if I don't get that sponsorship, if I don't do the work, no money shows up. There's nobody to hold me accountable. Like no, hey man, you have this thing due. Hey, why didn't you report to work? Hey man, go like. There's none of that. It's me. So having to be your own boss and make sure you're chasing those things and doing those things is it's hard. It's hard work. It's taxing.
I'm just gonna kind of read off some YouTube stuff. This is I'm
Little dub. I love that.
I'm rather new to 3D printing world, and I'm looking to purchase my first printer. I'm looking at the Ender 3 V2. Would this be a great printer to start printing
No.
wearables with helmets with it?
No, it's kind of small now. The V2, the Ender 3 V2s, it's already dated. It's a small printer. You won't be able to print full size helmets in one shot on it. But if you don't have the money for a big printer, the Elegoo Neptune 3 or Elegoo Neptune 3 Pro it's a much better printer than that, about the same price point. But if you can save up a little bit, and once they get back in stock eventually, um, well, actually, no, the Sobel SVO1 Pro. Look at that one. That's big enough to do helmets. It's a little bit that's about the same price point too.
And then someone put, I'll be at C2E2. Hope to see you there, Frank.
Yeah,
And then Lil Dub, Frank, did you actually make that stuff behind you, or did you cheat and 3D print it?
I love it. I love that question. I actually bought it all on Etsy. I buy all my stuff on Etsy and eBay. Um, yeah, it's one big scam. It's great. I tricked you all.
He doesn't really do that. He just kind of throws it all together from
It's
Etsy.
all each guy. I'm actually in front of a green screen.
Yeah. No New York Comic Con, dude. This is a crime from
Britt, yeah,
Britosaurus.
I know, Britt. Yell at Silicon and Trip. Yell at them for changing the date. I'm just as mad as you are. Trust me. But we'll hang out at WonderCon.
And then, is it possible to have a successful YouTube channel even though I'm an introvert? Ooh,
Absolutely. There's no reason you need to be on camera. Why do
yeah.
you need to be on camera?
Like when I
You can.
first,
If you like being on camera and being in front of a camera and you're comfortable talking to a camera, great, awesome. Not everybody is. There are tons of YouTube channels where people either wear masks or you
yeah,
never see them.
Dream,
Think about how long Dream never showed
yeah.
his face, right?
I think,
So
yeah,
you could be floating hands, right? You could have a top down camera, a POV. You're working on something. You're narrating something. You're making there are YouTube channels who just take Lego figures and make stop motion videos. You know, like you absolutely can have a successful YouTube channel without being on camera.
Yeah, like believe it or not, I was in broadcasting in high school. Like I've always kind of been social, but I consider myself an extrovert introvert in the sense of I played sports, so like I was kind of doing that. But like broadcasting and doing haunted houses for as long as I did is what brought me out of my kind of comfort zone. And then I started streaming in December of 2018, and I console streamed. Did not have a camera. I had a little headset, and I didn't actually get a camera until about 2 years later. And because I didn't feel comfortable. Like I didn't mind my voice, but like once I hit affiliate, I was just like, okay, well, let me start changing some things up, and then once I got that camera, like my Twitch took off. I was the end of December 2021. I was only at 100, and now it's February 2023, and I'm at over 534 followers on Twitch. I mean,
You're
it's
at 534. Yeah,
yeah.
there you go.
Anything's possible. Like you can do it and not be seen, and you could go and become the next big YouTuber. You could be the next
But
stream.
you have to ask yourself who it was built by Tommy.
Yeah,
Why do you want to have a successful YouTube channel? Do you want to have a successful YouTube channel because you just want to have a successful YouTube channel? Or is there something you enjoy doing that you think other people would like to watch or enjoy with you? Make the
exactly.
channel for the right reasons and people will come. If you just, man, I want to be a famous YouTuber, why? Why?
You also got
What
to
do you
find your niche.
what do you have to offer that anybody would care about to watch? Or is it like, man, I really love building Lego. I don't know what your channel is, but like I really love building Legos and making dioramas with them. This is fun. Let me make a video. Maybe people will enjoy this. That's good. That's fine. Do that. But don't make a channel just in hopes that it will be successful. You never know. You never know.
And then Kaiju Alex said Dragon Con. So
Try it on.
Dragon Con. He's in the Atlanta area, and that's like he goes to that convention every year.
Really?
Sky High EXO, how are we doing?
Have you considered OnlyFans instead of bikini pics?
Yeah.
I mean, I've been propositioned by people on Instagram to sell photos. I'm good. I'm all right. I'm married.
Happily.
We're good. We're now, would I put the Iron Man suit on and then put a bikini on over it and make a calendar swimsuit photo shoot of that? Absolutely. That'd be hilarious. It'd be amazing.
And
One day.
then RC Titan, hey man, you inspired me to build my Iron Man suit I'm working on now. Thank you. Dick Powell, I want to do the same thing with Hydra Buster armor. A start to finish build. Only Frank is what you could call it.
Yeah, my only friends. I own the domain.
Yeah. Me and 50, we both need to get back. So all right. I'm gonna now that I know the time frame, how many items do you think that you've 3D printed in in like the 4 years of printing? Just a little guesstimate, I guess.
Ooh.
The look is like
over over 500 at least. I mean, because suit parts. Does a suit count as one thing or multiple things? You know,
well,
like
because you've had different iterations, so I guess you can count each piece of the armor that you've had to remake and make.
I'm looking behind me. I'm looking at least 200 pieces alone, plus all the helmets and raw prints I've sold. I probably at this point probably over 1,000.
Over 1,000.
Yeah. Um,
SG, my friend SG said, "How we should do an OnlyFans of people putting on Iron Man suits."
people do like the suit up videos. I got to say that. People do like those. Um, I know for a fact I've used over 500 spools of filament
Yeah.
because in England I was well over 280 or 290 spools before I got rid of all those. And like, yeah, I've printed a lot of stuff.
Quick question about 3D printing. An Iron Man suit, wondering the best way to cut up a torso for a printer. Depends
Totally
on the
depends
printer.
on the printer size. Totally depends on the torso you're talking about. Totally depends on how the files are already pre-cut up. Totally depends on the details on the file. There's no. Um, I'm gonna go on a tangent real quick. And RC, this is not about you in particular. Um, it's a something I see constantly in just the 3D printing community, and then also in the Iron Man building community. There is no cookie cutter answer for any of this stuff, and everybody wants it. My God, the what's the best way to cut this up for a printer, or what's the best way to orient this, or what's the best filament to? Oh my God, the best. What's the best filament to use for? There is no best anything for any of this. It's trial and error. It is what works best for you. What work are you willing to put in? If you didn't want to cut stuff up, you should have bought a bigger printer. If you're okay cutting stuff up and saving money, get a small printer, cut it up, do the post processing. There's so many different ways to that end goal, that like big generalized broad questions, just there's no answer for them. There's not, it's tough. It's a tough hobby to get into. Um, that's why a lot of people make tutorials now to like try to show and teach, like, hey, you know, I just posted a picture of Starboost on one of the 3D printing groups, and like most, there were a bunch of comments about like, wow, I can't imagine how big your printer was. It's like, what do you mean? You can print this on any size printer, like you can print this on an Ender 3. I know people who printed Starboost and the Mark 85 on Ender 3s. So it's that comment in that group, like, oh, I can't imagine how big your printer was or whatever. It's like a big warning. It's a big flag saying like, I'm new to this. Um, so that's why learning those little skills and tools, slicers, how to cut parts up, how to orient, how to re-weld things, like it's invaluable. I know people who they would message me asking me to cut up their files. I'm like, you don't want to learn probably the most basic skill of 3D printing, cutting up an STL. Just sell your printer at that point. Like,
Yeah,
why are you in this hot? Like, you're in the wrong spot.
and you've literally got tutorials on how to, like with
Tons
mesh
of tutorials.
mixer,
Tons of people
slicer.
making tutorials. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
that
like
wasn't a tangent in URC at all. Like it's a very common thing because everybody wants the best way or the easiest way or the just less mess, right? Less guesswork. I get that. I totally get that. But there's just a lot of times there just isn't a best way to do it.
Blake Wilkinson, how are you doing? Cookie time. Have you considered doing a full review of the V400?
I'm trying to get that on my second channel ASAP. I have the V400. It's been printing like a monster for me for a while. It's a great printer. I've let my second channel fall off because I just haven't had time for the review videos. Um, yeah.
Which, if you want to follow that, it's Frankly Review.
Yes, sir. I gotta breathe life back into it.
Because, like, honestly, so I found you, ironically, back in, I think it was like November ish. I was like toying around with the idea of getting a 3D printer again. I was like, okay, so what would be like the best way to, like, and I said good 3D printers for uh cosplay or something like that, or for beginners. You popped up, and I think you reviewed like three or four different ones,
Yo.
and I got my Ender 3 because of the recommendation from you. I was like, okay, so a good, more hands-on, that's kind of what I want to do. Like, I'm more of a hands-on learner as it is, so like trying to figure out all these things where like all the issues, I'm like, I've asked my friend SG, who's got a printer, Kaiju Alex, a couple of my other friends, and it's like I'm just trying to find like through different videos and where I can and can't learn, or figure it out on my own. And it's just like, even I've watched countless, I can't tell you, I went through and watched like 4 or 5 of your review videos in like one sitting, and like start to finish. Like, I got enthralled and just watched.
There's I've been caught. Well, not I can't say caught. That's the other problem. with real quick, RC Titan Mesh Mixer. Mesh Mixer is a great, simple, free program. It's a chopping block. It'll cut files up for you real good. Um, you can do cuts in Cura now, but it's still slow. I prefer Mesh Mixer. It's easier to manipulate the file. Um, that's also a problem in when searching for printers. I highly recommended the Creality CR10S Pro V2 for a while. I still recommend it, but it's almost impossible to find now.
Yeah.
Creality is phasing it out. I've recommended the Ender 3 so much in a lot of my videos, but now I'm recommending the Neptune 3 Pro or Plus. And so people are like, well, wait, I thought you used to like the Ender. It's like times change.
Yeah.
And I can't go back and change that video, but it's also a good video, so I'm not going to go and delete it. But just because you got the Ender 3 and homie over here got the Neptune 3, they still work. There are very few printers on the market right now, very few, that suck. They all work. They will print. You get an Ender 3. I still want to do it. I actually been thinking about doing a video where I just get an Ender 3, build it, and immediately start printing off Prusa quality parts out of the box, because it'll irritate the crap out of people who spent $1,000 on a nice printer, because you can do that.
Yeah.
These printers want to work. If you build them right, a few quality control issues aside, there are lemons out there, absolutely, but the Sovals work, the Crealities work, the Elegoo's work, the Ultimakers work, the Snapmakers work. They all work. So if you get into the hobby, just get your feet wet. Get into printing, learn how the printer works, and then you'll realize what you do and don't want. If you have an Ender 3 and you're like, I am so tired of cutting up files, well, then now you know, look for a bigger printer next time, you know? So there's just so many options out there now. It's like, just get a printer. Just buy one, you know? And unless it's a review video where it's like, oh my God, this thing is a fire hazard, piece of crap, this broke, that broke, I'm looking to use Sunlu S8, you'll be happy. Get a printer and print stuff.
So, your friend, is it Stony Arla 16? Is that how you pronounce it?
Stone Orla.
Yeah. She said,
Orla.
what's your favorite piece you've made?
You know the answer to this.
And then my friend SG said, yeah. It said, and we all said, break it and try to fix it. Ha ha ha. Exactly. Break it and try to fix it.
I love my suit. I love the Mark 85. It'll always be my favorite, but that's an easy cop out, obviously. Probably my Monster Hunter Jawblade. I love this thing.
That thing is
I
huge.
think it's one of the coolest props I've made. I want to remake a lot of the big swords. I want to remake Cloud's Buster Sword, because I've learned so much since making a lot of the large swords, but I don't think I could do any better on my Jawblade. I think I nailed it. I'm happy. Helmet wise, I really, really love my Samus helmet.
That thing is, yeah, that I watched that video too, and I'm like, ooh, it's so nice.
I love it. I love that. I'm looking at it right here. Actually, these swords, once my garage workshop's done, I have a spot. I actually want to move some of these props out there onto the wall, because they don't get seen here. It's just chills here. It's all dead space. So we'll see.
And I think if you go to his channel, watch his, like, him talking about what he wants to do for his makerspace, and then look at that video a year ago when you posted that?
I was so excited. We worked so hard on those 3 videos, the making the makerspace videos, and man, did they tank. They did so bad.
I enjoyed it.
They got views, and I'm grateful for the couple thousands of views they got.
What's good luck?
Realize about my channel is people just want information from me. So that's something it's a little bitter to accept, because it's like, I would love to be the person, the YouTuber who, like, I can make anything and people will watch. I don't think I'm that guy. I'm not MatPat. I'm not Danny Gonzalez. I'm not. We can watch him floss his teeth and cook dinner, and cool viral video. People come to my channel for information. They watch my video once, get the information, the tutorial, and then they move on. So when I do those more like behind the scenes videos, the vlogs, the con crunch, the traveling with the suit, the building my workshop, they don't do good. They don't get as many views as like a 3D printing tutorial or the best 3D printer of 2023 or something like that.
Blake Wilkinson, thank you for the subscribe over on YouTube. I appreciate that. All right, so
Max. No
Yeah.
regrets. I
I'm
turned
kind of
Creality
turned
after having
off
issues
from
with it.
Creality after having issue after issue with mine. About the printer you recommended, the Ender 3 Max Neo, and I am
Rogue
taking
Music, and I know that, and that's why I am grateful for those. When I do put a video up, a vlog video, and it gets 1, 2, 3,000 views, I know that's what those views are. I will never get analysis paralysis when it comes to views in that sense. Like I know those videos, um, though they hurt my analytics, that I don't care. I like doing those because I know there are other people out there who just watch those. Um,
Well,
I like
what
them.
did I just do? Okay, hold up. So this one was kind of answered. If you want to answer it again, says what branch of the military were you, and what was your title, if allowed to disclose?
Um, So I enlisted, came in as an E1 out of basic and tech school, got E3 because my 6 year contract. I ended up as a E6 technical sergeant, and that's what I separated active duty as. I am still an E6 in the reserves. If I get a certain training done soon-ish, I can actually apply for E7 and get to a master sergeant slot. But I was a E6 tech sergeant, um, and my actual job title it was an aerospace propulsion craftsman. So I was a 7 level. So I could do sign offs, IPIs, right? Put my name, certify certain things. Like I could like basically put my stamp on certain things, saying this engine was built right. And doing inspections, in process inspections to make sure the engines got built properly and didn't blow up. And if they did blow up, I go to jail because my name's on it.
Oof.
Yep. It could be stressful. It's not something people think about until they're in the job and they're in that position. But if I have my worker, my 5 level, my A1C, my airman, my worker B, doing a job, building a component of this engine up, I as the 7 level, I would come up behind them and inspect it. It's an in-process inspection, an IPI. I look at the thing. Did you torque this number? Did you torque this nut to the proper number? I'm verifying that he did that. Did he install this right? Did he do A, B, and C right? And then I put my name on it. If something happens to that jet engine, if it blows up, something bad, and it was because of that thing that's my name on it. And they can track all of that. They can see that, oh, the engine liberated because the HVT nut wasn't torqued properly and you did the IPI on the HVT nut. That's on me. That's it. Done. Done. Dead in the water. So it's a big responsibility, especially when people's lives are at risk.
Yeah.
When the engine goes to test cell to be tested and spun up for the first time, that is the scariest moment you can be around a jet engine, is when it was just completely torn apart, completely assembled back together, and then it's on a test stand for the first time, spinning and spooling up. And there's a guy in the bay with the engine standing next to it, staring at it with a flashlight. If it's gonna blow up, it's gonna blow up there. And I did that job too, and it is scary. You put a
So
lot of faith in people.
so before I get to my last two questions, I'm gonna take the moment to like if the viewers have any questions for him, uh, this would like kind of be so one from Blake. He's been kind of through this and asking says
Like,
can Blake Wilkinson, can you give a review? Give me your review on the Anycube Cora Max if you know anything about it.
the Cobra Max. I don't have a Cobra Max. I know plenty of people who do. Its competition is the Neptune 3 Plus. It's a good printer. I've seen just as much. There's a couple negative reviews about it, but there's negative reviews about every printer because people mess them up. But the Neptune 3 Plus is almost impossible to get right now. So if you're trying to get your hands on a big printer, the Cobra Max is a good option, way better than the CR6 Max. So I will probably never do a review on it. I don't have one. I don't have the room for it right now, but it is a good printer. I can promise you that.
And then says just wondering, is 3 days relative average for printing the bulk of an Iron Man helmet?
Um, it's a little long, but don't be deterred about that. Don't chase other people's numbers. I hate that. God, I hate that shit. I hate when somebody on like the 3D printing weapons props group, Nico's group, posts a Mandalorian helmet, right? And they're like, "Hey, my Mandalorian helmet, 60-hour print. Wish me luck." And all of the comments are 60 hours. I print mine in 59. I'm better than you. Shut the hell up. Oh my god. I would much rather a print take 60 hours and survive and learn from it. Hey, okay, give constructive feedback. Don't just gloat that yours was quicker. Like, hey, that's awesome. Best of luck to you. Um, what were your settings? Hey man, like maybe next you want to shave like time off, offer something constructive, or just like good luck.
Yeah.
People do that all the time. I can print a helmet in 12 hours if I wanted to. Cool, awesome. If you print one in 20, you still printed a thing. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't be that guy on Facebook, please.
And then, so it's true. I also love the vlogs. To be honest, Frank's videos are super useful for the Iron Man suits. Though I'm using his now to make my Iron Man helmet from SG. Hell yeah, been there. Those kind of jobs suck. Uh. So Kaiju. That was actually kind of one of my questions. So I'm gonna ask Kaiju's questions. Do you have any project that you haven't printed yet but are determined to do?
It's mine. Yeah. So there's a Power Ranger costume suit I want to make. It's going to be a lot of armor pieces. I'm excited for it. And then there is a Gundam cosplay I'm
Ooh.
going to try to get done by TatsuCon next year. It's going to be mostly foam because of the weight of it, but there's going to be a lot of printing and electronics involved in it, and I am super excited about it. I cannot wait for that.
Okay, and then yeah, Kaiju Gundam. Also may print in 5 hours, but lots of filler and sanding to do. Sometimes it's a trade-off. Welcome to our fandom, Frank. Power Rangers is how Mac. Yeah, honestly, that's the Power Ranger fandom is how me and SG met. I've been
I've
working.
been slowly weaseling. It's scary. It's scary to break into a new fandom, the Super Sentai / Power Ranger fandom.
It's
like
it's a so as someone who's been in that fandom, it is toxic. I will say that.
For every fandom, I mean.
Yeah. I've printed. All right, so Blake said I've printed the dome for my helmet 6 times because I'm not pleased with the quality. Should I just accept it as it is, or keep going through material improving it? Well, I don't think he heard it.
I could hear.
Ah.
And I accept it and keep it in air. How? I mean, if it's a quality thing, you got to keep upping the quality. You got to figure out why that quality is not coming out. Is something in your printer loose? Can you get better quality, or can you just, if you print it 6 times, think about the time you could have spent sanding it to just clean one of them up, sanding and priming it. Ooh. So that's totally up to you to make that decision.
So Hudson 230 said, "You got me into 3D printing, and I got an Ender 3 because of your videos, and I'm trying to model a Savitar helmet from ZW Flash. Can you please make a video on how to make one?"
That's gonna be.
I feel like that helmet in general.
You're trying to model a Savitar helmet. They make those models. I'm pretty sure DO3D has a model. There's models of the Savitar helmet on CG Trader as well. Unless you want to model it yourself completely, that's up to you. But
hey, that's kind of in the realm of SG.
I don't hate how that helmet looks.
It's just so much detail and just a lot.
It's a complicated print, and it's just I have so many other projects I want to do, so I'm not out of ideas. Those types of helmets are like where I'm like, okay, I guess I need something here, but I haven't really hit that yet, so I don't know.
All right, guys, I gotta ask I hate to do this. Frank said he was at a time crunch.
We're good. Keep going, man. We're good.
You sure?
Good.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So one thing I will say, I got in. My first ever cosplay was in 2015. I went to a convention called Lexington Comic Con and Toy Convention. It's in Kentucky. I did a green Ninjetti costume. If you've seen the movie, if you saw season 3 of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers back in the 90s, or if you're just getting into that, I wanted to do something different that I've not seen anyone do. So I did that, and I can't find that suit for the life of me. That was my first one, and then since 2016, I've been working conventions in the realm of mainly Power Rangers. So like I've been to Kentucky. I worked with Amy Rowley. She was Shrekina from Power Rangers Lost Galaxy, the main villain. The next year, I worked with Mike Jin, Gold RPM. I've worked with Catherine Southern, the second Pink MMPR Ranger, Nakia Baris, Zeo, and Turbo Yellow. Like I've been in that fandom. I've met a lot of the actors. They're really cool. But like that fandom in general, I'm just like I used to love being coming back and being a Power Ranger fan. But like over the last like 2 3 years, it's just kind of put a bad taste in my mouth. I still love Power Rangers as a whole. I love the actors that I've gotten to meet and gotten to become close with, but I'm like the fans is what kills it for me, man. And like
Interesting.
when you posted photos of the uh your White Ranger, I commented, I was like, is that Die Ranger or Mighty Morphin? Oh gosh. Okay.
Um, there was Mighty Morphin. That's what he modeled the concept off of. It was like an advanced version. It was a concept based off of like what the 2017 movie or something like that.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
um, but it was just something so much more sleeker about the helmet. Like I like the sleekness of it compared to the original show run helmet. Um, but yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to kind of weasel a little bit in. I think I'm going to do a Death Ranger helmet next because that comic
Ooh.
is awesome. Um, yeah,
All right.
it's all the fandoms.
So, quick
Uh,
question: if you really wanted to, could you scale down your 3D files to your Iron Man suit and make a mini one?
I've seen people do that. Yep. You just need to remember that as you scale down the detail and quality. So if you try to FDM print it, you're going to lose a lot of detail. But if you were to resin print it, it come out basically exactly the same.
Uh
And then there's a question from Flynn about my Mark 40. Yeah,
oh.
he finished the suit. The guy's name is Cryoman on Instagram. He's the one who got the suit and like modified it and made it like a showpiece. But that's where that thing is. And yes, Dick Powell, I have used Armored Garage, Armor Smith. It is great. It works. It works really well.
See, this is why we got you here, so you can get comments that I haven't got. Because I know you built a suit for a taller person. I was just wondering, does the amount of filament increase a lot? Me being 6'6". Ooh, RC
Six.
Titan.
If you're over 6 foot, you'd still use. You probably instead of like 14, 15 rolls, you might be looking at like 16, 17 rolls. It doesn't increase too much. Um, it's just because if you're you would probably need to look into using something like Armor Smith to non-uniform scale pieces because your limbs might just be longer, not wider or thicker. So you can stretch out pieces, which doesn't use too much more filament. But if you just scale everything up uniformly, your shins are going to be huge. Then like it just depends on the scaling of it. But yeah, 15, 17 rolls maybe.
So in Twitch chat and viewers, we've got Eshy Mechanic, Shady Wolf 30, Caps Lock 70, Commander Root, frankly built, Kaiju Alex, Nathan and B 125, Polisari Girl, Young and Nefarious, Master, Unbanned, Julie LOL, Ultraviolent 39, and your friend, I'm gonna butcher her name, Sony Loria 16. I think is how it's pronounced.
Stone Orla.
Yeah, Stone Orla. All right. One thing from Dark Knight of the Soul. Can you give us an idea of your size, height, weight, waist, and how it affects scaling?
Um, I'm 5'8". Weight has nothing to do with it. My waist is 32 inches because it depends on what parts of your body are long or short, or where your muscle mass is, or if you have any, like how your weight is distributed across your body. It all affects scaling. It depends on the suit you're making. If you're making a Mandalorian costume, scaling is a little bit easier because a lot of it's fabric and it's armor pieces. If you're making an 85 with a super tight, skinny waist, yeah, and you have to start scaling stuff and messing with stuff. It can really start to make the suit look weird because we're shaped like humans, not superheroes, which is totally fine. Um, so yeah, scaling can be a nightmare, and it can make sometimes it can make projects impossible depending on the shape you are or how you want to look in the costume, or you might not get the desired results. So it's definitely something to grapple with.
Cookie time. I completely agree with you. Boom Comics did do a great job with the Power Rangers. I
Yeah.
read up to like right at the beginning of Omega when they're getting ready to go to Earth. That was, and then
They-
I kind of
I,
fell
I
out.
love all three Omega Ranger helmets. Like they're so cool. They're simple. They
That's,
remind me a lot of the original helmets. Like
they're very aesthetically pleasing too, in my
they
opinion.
are. They're not overly complicated. They look like just good old Power Rangers helmets. Where at a quick glance you'd be like, oh, those are just normal Power. Wait, what series is that from? You know.
Yeah, like my friend
They're
SG, he modeled, 3D printed, and him and his wife painted the Omega. What was it? Sky blue.
the blue one. Yeah.
Yeah, and gave,
The colors remind me a lot of Ninja Storm.
yeah. Oh, I love Ninja Storm.
Ninja Storm
Um,
is good.
and I can't remember the name of the guy who did that version of the comics, but at Power Morphicon this past year, Omega Yale Blue, yes, that he gifted that helmet to the creator, and it turned, like, he says he doesn't do good with helmets, which I'm gonna say this, SG, that's a lie. It Ryan Parrott, yes, SG Mechanic with his helmets that he's done have turned out amazingly. Like,
That's
uh he did the Spiral Saber from from In Space. He did a black and red version for Christopher Kamen Lee. Turned out fantastic. Like, he does good with his props, but I think his helmets have turned out. And I'm not just saying that because he's a friend. Uh, Mando flight suits add a decent amount of thickness that makes scaling Mando.
yeah, they
armor
can
harder.
they can definitely.
Do people
That's what
realize?
you right. That's what you need to think about when scaling, right? What's underneath it? What are you gonna wear underneath it?
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely things to take into consideration. If you're making an avatar and armor smith, and you know you're gonna be wearing a flight suit under it, measure yourself with the flight suit on, and then you'll be like, oh, this is how big part needs to be.
He said nothing compared to Frank's stuff. To be honest, there's a reason why I use his videos.
Well, thank you.
And
I made one Power Ranger helmet. Chill.
well, but you also got to think, you also give tutorials on like sanding and those kind of tricks too. So like, but no, like, I've talked to him one time and he was just like, I'm currently watching one of Frank's videos to get my sanding a little bit smoother, and I'm like, but I've seen some of the stuff that he's done. Will
Will
you
you ever
ever
print
print
an older Iron Man suit like the Mark III? I would love to do a Mark III statue because the Mark III's proportions are proportions I would never be able to fit in at my height and shape and size. Um, but I would love to just print out a suit and just make it a statue and just see how nice I can make it. But no, there's no earlier suits I would probably want to print that because I like these ones.
So I'm gonna ask you one question that I don't kind of have in my little notes of what I've been following.
Are we going off script? Yeah, oh, that's
Yeah,
fine.
I'm going off script. What all helmets that because I can kind of see them, and I haven't really seen a lot of them. What all helmets do you actually have on your display shelf back there?
We have Moon Knight, Black Panther, Daredevil, Hellbat, Mark 85, Sam Alexander Nova, Mandalorian, Iron Mandalorian, Richard Rider Nova, Samus, Guardians of the Galaxy Nova. I don't know why I have so many Nova helmets.
'Cause
Red
Nova's
Hood,
awesome.
and then the Mark 50 Battle Damage.
Ooh, Mark 50. I don't think I've seen your Mark 50 one. I might have.
I don't know. I think I never really showed it on YouTube, honestly. This is my first full resin printed helmet, actually.
Oh. Oh, was that the one from Endgame
Yep.
at the beginning? Okay. I didn't realize that was his Mark 50.
Yep. It's the leftover nanites from his battle with Thanos.
That's a beautiful helmet.
Pink.
That's cool.
So guess.
Hey, what's going on, Craig Creates? How we doing? Welcome in.
This was a fun one. I wish I recorded more on this build, but it was just something I wanted to get done, and just nice little display piece.
Oh yeah, that's very.
I have another one sitting here that's resin printed in my airbrush setup, and it's just black primered, smooth resin primered, because I want to airbrush it and see how much if I can make it better or worse than my spray paint abilities.
And like when I started watching, and like I saw because like you had popped in my Instagram like a year, 2 years ago, and my Instagram was doing this weird thing where like I would follow someone and then I would unfollow them. So like for like 2 months straight, I would have to just go to their page every day and follow them. And you popped up in one of my
You
like
got why. Don't follow me. You were like, screw this guy.
no,
No.
and like in my search like history, like right when you're getting ready to search someone, like all those recommended ones, in your Mark 85 was in there. And then I started watching your videos and it was like, oh yeah, this is all spray painted. I'm like, there's no way. Like just the amount of detail,
All of it.
all of
All of
it.
it. All of it. A little bit of hand brushing here and there, like weathering or that type of crap. But yeah, to date, everything. It's all spray paint. All my Gundam models were all spray painted, and that used to tick people off on Reddit. Um,
So,
I
um,
think I was just having this conversation with somebody last night. Actually, like I think I've maxed out my spray painting level skills. Like if it was a tier in Elden Ring or something or like in an RPG, like I've maxed out my spray painting. There probably is a little bit left, but it would be so hard to get there. Like my Doctor Fate helmet. I think my Doctor Fate helmet was like it. Like here you
yeah.
go. This is the best you're ever gonna get with spray paint and gold. I'm ready to move on to airbrushing and HVLP and see what I can unlock.
Ooh. Ultraviolet. I forgot to add because this was one of the ones where I said after I'm gonna do. What's your chair? And it is Iron Man. It is an Iron Man chair.
It is a chair by a company called Anda Seat, ANDA Seat, and it's Iron Man themed.
Was that gifted to you from them, or did you buy it
It
from them?
was it was it was a gift along with the Nano Leafs. It was a contact that I had gotten in touch that had got in touch with me about setting up the new workspace when I moved here, and they're like, "Hey, we have a really cool chair to send you." Sick, got the chair, and then I think I just had to talk about it once or twice in a video, and I was just like, "Okay, cool." And then he got me in touch with the dude from Nanoleaf, who then sent me these, and so it was smart marketing. I mean, it's like I said, it's in every video.
Yeah.
Free, free. I'm sure they've made their money back. They had to have.
Stream Elements.
Uh,
I've been live for like an hour.
that's weird.
Yeah.
Stream Element, yeah.
Yeah. Stream Elements is saying Mac to Cool is now live. I'm like, I've been live.
Do you think it's mandatory to have a hand sander to sand a full Iron Man suit, or do you think you can do it with just sand? You can do it with sandpaper. It's gonna take longer, but you can absolutely do it by hand. Um, just power tools make things go quicker. That's all. Is there anything you'd want to make but haven't been able to make because X things simply can't exist in the real world, or because you're X missing the skills to do it? A Wing Gundam Zero cosplay, a really good Wing Gundam Zero Endless Waltz cosplay with the giant angel wings. I don't want these dinky little chicken
Oof.
feather things. Not knocking on anybody who's done it before, but if I'm gonna do Wing Zero, I want it to be like I want it to take over a room. I want it to. Oh yeah, one day, one day I'll figure it out. But that's why my first Gundam cosplay is going to be a different Gundam from the same movie, but not Wing Zero, not yet. I don't have the skill set yet.
I'm so ready to see your Gundam because, like, as a kid, between them and Zoids, that was like, and they don't get talked about a lot. And I'm like, but they are amazing, especially Zoids, like the Liger.
Katsucon's theme next year is mechas, so that's why
Ooh.
I would love. It's I've never seen anybody do this with. I've seen people make this Gundam cosplay once or twice. I've never seen anybody do the Endless Waltz version, and I've never seen anybody do what
Ooh.
I'm planning to do with it. So I'm it's going to evolve. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. At least 18 servos. And if my counting wasn't a giveaway to somebody about what costume I might be doing, yeah, I'm excited for it.
Craig creates. I don't think North Carolina is big enough for two big YouTubers. He put Frank, build a Hulkbuster suit and you will be bigger than Mr. Beast.
Two big YouTubers. You know Matt Pat lives in Raleigh, right?
I didn't know that.
Two big YouTubers in North Carolina. Mr. Beast and Matt Pat live half an hour away from each other.
Oh wow. That would explain why he used to join in a lot of Jimmy's videos. That's another YouTuber that I watch, which I just tasted these nuts today and they're pretty good. If you haven't tried the Feastables, not trying to plug anything, but the Feastables are in Walmart. I've been getting them for the last couple months, and I didn't think we would get these nuts in stores. And I was at Walmart earlier today, and it was there. And I'm like, "Yep, I'm trying them."
Um, Here's a good question. RC Titan.
Do
I
you
like your
have?
question. Do you
Yeah,
have any good ideas for a Comic Con beginner in an Iron Man suit? Do you mean a? Are you asking a good suit to start building for a beginner, or things to think about as their first time going to a Comic Con in a suit? Because those are two very different questions.
see, I missed that question. My bad, y'all.
Huh? Huh?
And that's why we got Frank here. Because
I'm gonna do a quick plug on my own Twitch because I haven't. If you, I am gonna start Twitch streaming.
oh,
Maybe tomorrow, if not Saturday night or Friday night. My first Twitch stream in 2 years. So
forward slash Frankly underscore
I want to meet. I want to meet Matt Pat organically. I would love to like
Bill.
meet him in crew. He seems like such a cool person. I'm waiting for RC Titan to see the question because there's a little bit of a delay.
There you go.
Thanks, bud. I appreciate that.
There we go. I posted it on both. And also, guys, for my Twitch, for the people that follow me on Twitch, he is also in my suggested feed. So, therefore, if you are enjoying, just getting the FaceTime with him on here, if this is your first time, if you watch the video and then you go watch his videos on YouTube, there you go. He's in my suggested feed. So, if I'm not live, he's live right there, so you can go through his channel through mine.
RC Titan, what do you mean? I'm waiting on your answer. Do you have any good ideas for a Comic Con beginner in an Iron Man suit? There's like 5 ways I can interpret that, and I'm just trying to figure out what he meant.
Thank you for the follow, Stone.
Stone Orla?
Yes, Stone Orla 16. Thank you for that. I'm gonna butcher that until it's
Her name is Orla.
Orla.
Like,
Okay,
yeah,
I'm gonna call you Orla,
Orla.
if that's okay. Like a lot of people, my name isn't actually Mac too cool. Is it Mac? I go like when people come through here, they see Mac, but on YouTube, my name is on there and it's Jet Powell. So I mean, what's your biggest bugbear about 3D printing? A good first Comic Con to go in wearing an Iron Man suit is what RC Titan.
Any. Don't go to San Diego Comic Con in an Iron Man suit. It'll get destroyed. Any con. Find a con, go. Honestly, if it's your first time going, maybe a smaller con.
Yeah.
Do a test flight, less eyes on you if something goes wrong. Make sure you have a handler to help you if something breaks. If you need crowd control, my God. Go to a con, walk around in it, see how long you last. It will hurt your feet.
Yeah.
What's your biggest bugbear about 3D? What's that?
Yeah, I don't even know what a bugbear is.
Bugbear? Biggest fear? Your biggest big fear? Big bear? Someone translate that. I don't know what he's talking about, Craig. Dang it, Craig.
Dang it, Craig.
Um,
Yeah, no. Like I'm gonna say, my first con was Lexington, and so this past year, just on Saturday alone, they had 100,000 people there just for
Wow.
Saturday. And I'm going through, and I'm just like, man. And I think that year that I was there, they did like their biggest crowd was like 60,000 people. Like to me, that's still baffling. And like coming off of COVID, uh,
I think New York Comic Con averaged it was like 100,000 people a day.
God.
It was stupid.
And me, I've got road rage walking, and I can't tell you how many times I'd be going through like this little corridor area and just be shoulder to shoulder, and people would bump me, and I'm like, I was trying real hard not to get kicked out of it because I'm like,
I'll get bumped in these suits, or like I'll be facing somewhere doing pictures, and someone will bump into me, and I'm like, no, I
really?
can't turn and see you, right? Like I have no periphery. Yeah, people are like, oh, like they just bump into you and not say sorry sometimes. They're like, there's no way I could have seen you. You saw me. You definitely saw me.
Bugbear means annoyance.
My biggest annoyance with 3D printing,
Fails.
clogged nozzles. It's just the worst. It is just the friggin' worst thing to deal with. I hate it. Aside from that, most things are just self-induced, so you can't really get that mad at them.
Oh, something you don't like. Okay. Yeah, good Comic Con to go to for the first
Yeah.
Comic Con.
Um,
Yeah, definitely don't. If you have really bad anxiety, I will say this:
that's
going
also
to a big con with your first convention will overwhelm you like to the fullest. Like,
it is a lot. Yeah, it can definitely be anxiety induced. I know people who have trouble in big crowds, and cons can get very overwhelming very quickly.
yeah,
Uh, what is actually kind of neat about walking around in Iron Man suits, though, is it causes a crowd. However, people stay away from you because they want pictures. So like there's always distance. Now somebody might come up to you and take a picture with you, but somebody's taking that picture of them. So they're away from like it forces a bubble
yeah,
because people don't want to be right up to you like, wow, look at a neat suit. They're gonna be away from you taking photos. So it kind of forces this area of exclusion around you so people can get a photo of you.
yeah.
So it's definitely something I've noticed. But it's fun. It's if you go to a con with a half decent Iron Man suit,
Be
you,
prepared.
it. I've been escorted around, asked to move, redirected so many times because like it causes traffic jams. Like once one person, and God forbid, people are taking photos of you and walking by, and you do the mask thing, it like stops. Whoa! Like it's
Yeah,
the people who are building it. Like that's a very simple thing for us now. It's just like okay, cool, motorized helmet. Like they're pretty easy to do now. But like people aren't ready for that. Like whoa, that's
hey,
just a thing. Um, and then they
Craig.
can't see how you did it. That you hit the buttons in your chin or your hands, and they don't see how it close. It just does it, and they're
Yeah.
like, it's amazing.
So Craig Create says, I've booked tickets for Birmingham, England to see you and Emily. My eldest son is super excited, not sure if I should suit up or not.
Dude, suit up. I would love to see that. I do not know what times or how long me and Emily will be suited up. Her husband will be there to kind of help us with handling our suits, but me and her, I'll have my Mark 85 there. I don't know what suit she's bringing. She might be bringing her new suit, I think, the one she's bringing to WonderCon. But I just don't have a time frame because we'll also have a booth there. We're also doing a panel talk.
Hey.
So I don't know when we'll be in our suits, but I would love to see yours. So
Yeah, because she's like, she's got Heartbreaker. Because I've been watching, started watching her channel because of a recommendation from you. She's got Heartbreaker. Um,
I don't honestly remember the marks of her suit. It's like the Mark 7 is her blue suit,
yeah.
and then the Mark she has Heartbreaker, the Mark 17, and then her new suit that she's working on, and then her foam suit I think is like the Mark 45 or
Oh,
46.
so she's got four suits. Okay.
Um,
Is there
Chris had
any
a lot
fun
of these
cons
too.
you recommend to go and wearing an Iron Man suit?
Um, WonderCon because there's going to be like 8 or 9 of us in suits. KatsuCon was a blast in a suit. New York Comic Con is very doable in an Iron Man suit. It's massive. Like I said, there's New York Comic Con has a bigger turnout than San Diego Comic Con,
Yeah.
but the Javits Center is massive, so you don't feel it as much. It's not as there's thousands of people, but it's spread out really nicely. So like there's places to take photos and relax and hang out and get away from the crowds. And Dragon Con is a big hotel party con.
Someone
Yeah,
threw a chair out of one of the balconies one year.
yeah. I heard I somebody defecated in the gazebo at KatsuCon. Cons get weird. Would you make multiple break apart Iron Man? Would you make the
The
multiple
multiple
break
break
apart
apart
Iron
Iron.
Man? Are you talking about the Mark Five? I am working on a Mark Five. I had to shelve the project.
Shades, which Chris are you referring to? Because I don't has had a lot of people too, and he had to pay a lot to ship it. Also, close to your house cost shipping and or extra luggage.
Extra luggage can be a thing. I luckily still have some access to military discounts when it comes to luggage and stuff. So yeah, I don't know if I would have been able to travel as much with my suits if I didn't have that military discount on flights because I bring 3 to 4 large suitcases, and that would be I mean that's hundreds of dollars every
Or
trip
then the one
just
that you just went to, you literally loaded up your car.
yeah. But thank God I was able to fit everything. So
Captain America.
Captain
Oh,
America.
oh, I know who you're talking about now. My friend Chris. I'm okay. You spelled his name wrong. That's why it was throwing me off. My friend Chris has a Captain America uh Falcon. Uh and he literally has to take a extra like baggage fee with him because of the just the wings itself.
Bet.
Like
I bet.
this year was one of the years that I was planning on doing something con wise more behind the scenes, and I'm not gonna, it's. I was kind of gonna start like booking people for conventions, and he's one of my friends, and I'm trying to help him get some cons because he's a cosplayer, like he's a featured cosplayer now, and one of his things that he wants to do is, if someone wants him to bring his Captain America suit, like they have to pay for that extra fee for just the wings itself.
Yep, that was a part. That's been a part of a few negotiations for some of my con appearances, especially going over to England. They wanted me and Emily to bring suits, and it's like
Well, y'all got to
they,
pay.
I don't think it was already a lot, and they had a certain budget, but it's like listen, like we're not trying to make it's going to be a fun trip. I'm excited to go. I don't need to make money off of this, but like it at least needs to kind of be covered. Like that's a long trip. That's a lot to ask, and you also want us to bring a suit, which we'll do, but it costs us money to bring
Yeah.
that suit. So it's like, can you work with us here on this, or else we're gonna be losing money on it.
Ooh,
Um,
okay.
and what's your favorite Marvel pop? I've never printed a Marvel pop, Craig.
Prop. I think he said prop. Yeah.
Prop?
What's your
No,
favorite Marvel prop
Marvel
you've printed
pop.
other
I think
than your
that's
Iron
Funko
Man?
Pop. Other than my suit, I love my Infinity Stone holders, man. I often forget that I made all of them. I'm very proud of those. I gotta like update them or I
They
don't
turned out
know.
really
Yeah,
nice. I like your OG Big Three compared to your like that Stormbreaker, the Asgardian Stormbreaker hilt. That's probably the favorite, one of my favorite things that you've printed.
thank you.
And then what Enfield are you do on
And
your
so,
prints is 20.
I use anywhere from 10 to 20% depending on the prop. If I'm going to be adding rods or supports to it or anything like that,
All right.
my mileage will vary.
So I'm gonna do a quick plug real quick. I know it's so for those of you I have, even though Frank probably has done this a lot on his, but I have partnered up with Creality. If you follow the link right there, uh, it's a referral link for Creality. So if you are looking to do something printer wise, follow that link. And yeah, just a
Okay.
quick little. And then I'm also one quick sponsor announcement that I'm with. I've partnered up with SkyTech Gaming. If you are looking for a great printer, I currently am using the SkyTech. I've had it for about a little over a year and a half now. Uh, and it's running with my 3 monitor setup. The different software that I've got on it. It is probably one of the better PCs that I've ever used, and that's not. I'm not just saying that because I'm partnered with them and I have it, but like yeah. So if you follow the link, I believe if you use promo code Mac2Cool93, you get like 6% off if I remember correctly. I'm not
Uh-huh.
entirely sure. It's been a while. Have to go back and relook, but yeah, definitely if you're looking for a good PC, you can build your own PC with them. They've got laptops, so everything is affordable if you're looking to do something, and they do payment plans. So there you go. Now,
And
I guess my last question for you, because we're about an hour and a half.
yeah, yeah. I do have to get going here soon.
Yeah, and I gotta head up and go to work in about an hour now. Awesome, talking to you. Even just having a small part of the suit printed feels awesome. Thank you for inspiring me. We'll try to catch the next live stream. I'm
Thank
guessing
you,
that
Arson.
was
I
directed
appreciate it.
towards you.
Great question. Thank you.
And then, where do you see your brand being in the next 5 years? Frankly, build itself. Do you?
Hopefully, honestly, straight up, maintained. I I think I'm gonna hit the million subs on YouTube, which would be amazing. I would love to do that by the end of the year, but I don't need to. I If I can just continue to maintain this, it pays the bills. I'm not trying to I'm not trying to be a millionaire. I'm not. I like this. It pays my mortgage. It feeds my family. I get to travel, meet people. I am so comfortable in my life right now. I love it. Like I I I'm really genuinely not wanting for anything right now. Yeah, I'm sure I would love a Lambo or a Ferrari, like, but I don't need one. I have a car that works. I'm happy with it. Like I'm comfortable. I just that's all I ever really wanted in life. Like to be stable and comfortable. And, you know, can I buy a couple frivolous things here and there? Yes, that's great. Can I use them as tax write offs and make a review video about them? Also, yes. It's a cool space to be in. And if I can just maintain the brand, continue to evolve and grow a little here and there, um, I'm happy. Like 5 years, let's do it. I know I can't continue to make the exact same videos. Build videos are I know they're already repetitive. Hey, you print the helmet, paint the helmet, assemble the helmet. They're gonna get old. I'm still gonna make stuff, but I definitely need to consider evolving the channel, or else it's adapt or die, right? On any social media platform. Um, I think
Well,
I've carved out a nice little corner of the 3D printing and the cosplay community, and I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable with it, and I need to stay relevant. That's all. Stay ahead of the curve with the new tech coming out. Continue to teach people and provide information that I have, and hopefully the channel is as successful as it is now, if not bigger, in 5 years.
so one last thing from Craig. Great to see you both, and great to see you back live, Frank. See you in Birmingham. Watch out for the moderately build
Moderately built. Yay,
Mark
Mark 85.
85, mine, not yours.
Heck yeah. Can't
So,
wait, bud.
and Kaiju, this was a lot of fun. Thank you guys. Man, thank you
Thank you.
guys for even tuning in. Like, I've been really enjoying over the last year doing these videos. I've had I've had SG on here, which if you're on YouTube, I have a playlist for these. It's called A Day in the Life of. I believe this is the ninth interview that I've done. Um, so all past interviews are up there. I've had content creators, I've had prop makers, I've had independent pro wrestlers. So if you guys are into wrestling, and and you watch or want to watch some really good independent wrestlers, and you're in the North Carolina area, hey, check those out. If you're here because for Frankly Built, check that out. I've got one of SG Mechanic, who's also a prop maker. Just these videos, I wouldn't have kept doing these if some of the other ones didn't receive really good. And I just appreciate everyone for even tuning in and giving my channels a watch, and I appreciate that. And so again, you can find Frank on all of his socials, Frankly Built, Frankly underscore built on YouTube, Tw-
Sure.
Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, all that.
All
Um,
of them.
all of the things. So I appreciate everyone for tuning in. And until next time, see you guys.